Nerds.
Nerds!
What is a nerd?
Go beyond! Plus!
A bunch of goddamn nerds.
何？
お前はもう死んでいる。
影分身の術
Alright, what's going on, my nerds? It's your boy Nerd Solo, and we're here with another Nerdcast podcast, and it's a solo podcast. The other nerds could not be with us tonight, but luckily for us, we have a special guest, and it's my guy, TafariTv. He is here joining us today. He is from Blerd Station, and you are probably seen him on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, because he does some very funny skits.
Uyashiki Musan Kiputsuchi. Boy, you look like shit. You look like you haven't seen the sun in a millennia. You look like you haven't seen anything in months. Sorry, I come from a cursed bloodline. You say that like it's my fault. It literally is, you moonwalking motherfucker. At least my legs still work. Man, I can grow more if I wanted to. Congrats, you can manifest everything except moisturized skin. You can't even see me to confirm that. Blindness enhances my other senses. I can smell your chapped ass from here, you big assy bitch. But just to confirm, baby, how you look?
Crusty as hell. Nigga needs some lotion.
Where's Nezuko? Gee, I don't know, Mr. Working Eyes. How about you take a look around? You tell me. F you. F you. F you. F you. Where the fuck these creepy ass kids come from? Bitch going boom says what? What?
Alright, how are you doing today?
I'm good, man. Happy Sunday. Can't complain.
That's good. So I see you've been quite busy. Had quite the year, and I take it you're probably slowing down, taking a break now from all the cons and screenings you've been attending.
Yeah, so the screening stuff is actually here in the city, so thankfully I don't actually have to go too far for that.
Oh, nice.
I missed the last one. I was supposed to go see Weapons, but I had like a scheduling conflict. And I didn't know that movie was going to be as crazy as everyone's saying it is. So I'm like, damn, I was supposed to go to that thing. But yeah, I've heard Weapons is really good. If you get a chance, go check it out. But as far as cons, yeah, I go to the black stuff and then stay in the house. So Blerd was great. Dream was great. After that, I'm strictly just whoever goes out, cool, send me the footage. I will chop it up and I will do that from the comfort of the home.
Now, what was your favorite con from this year so far?
Probably Dream, just because, I mean, it's a mix of the two. Blerd was cool because we got to put so many people on. But last year, I think I definitely had a more greater personal experience. This guy got to connect with so many people. And then like hanging out with like Dimitri and Cleo and all those guys was dope, but they couldn't make it this year. But I think Dream probably takes it because I finally got to link up with so many people, connect with so many other creators, got to do the Keyblade meetup this time, which we had a cool stuff come out of that. Finally got to do the anime hot takes video with my guys from Trapped in Anime TV because we were supposed to do it last year, but we just kept missing each other. So, which is why I came with like a list ready to fire off, and then that one's still going crazy. So Dream was definitely the one this year, and then getting to be there for Dominic Thorne, which then Ironheart was #1 on Disney Plus shortly after. Front row for Megan Thee Stallion, the Boondocks reunion. Zayna Bear. So a lot of cool people I got to meet and connect with, a lot of cool interviews we got to do, and just a lot of cool moments that came out of Houston this year.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, DreamCon is on the list of things. It's pretty big. And that's obvious. Everybody knows that it's huge. But that's I'm a little hesitant going to things that huge. I think the only thing on my list that I really want to go to that's like insanely big is San Diego Comic-Con next year. I do want to experience that at least one time. DreamCon, I get a little paranoid in all those lines.
Honestly, like because I've watched it grow from like being here in the city with only like 6,000 people to like what it is now. It's cool. I would say don't let the size overwhelm you, or like if you don't get in or get your application denied. Literally, you can buy a regular badge and go and still accomplish so much. And people just once it hit that like that 5-digit size, once we got up to from 6,000 to 20,000, suddenly it became that old thing. Oh, they all that now. It's too. I'm like, I promise you, it's not. Like it is just a place for you to go, be black, and geek out. Like,
yeah,
you see so much stuff, you be like, damn, where was I? And then you realize, oh, I was over here doing this other thing that also went viral or like got a lot of traction at the same time. Like, it's so much happening at the same time and that you can be a part of, or moments you can create for yourself. I encourage anybody with any kind of aspirations, get just a weekend badge and go. Like, it's that big because we poured so much into it as a community. So I wouldn't let the anxiety eat you up. It is like the perfect place to go and get your foot in.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'd love to go, and it's not the size and like the growth that it's had. It's literally just like the amount of people. I get a little.
Yeah. Honestly, you think from like a number perspective, yeah, that's crazy. But honestly, it wasn't that bad. Like maneuvering was honestly a lot easier.
Okay,
than
I saw some people who may have exaggerated some of their TikTok videos. I was like, oh my god, if I can't get out to get some air, I might freak out or something.
No, they have so many exits in and out the building, especially because it's connected all the time. And people do that every year. Oh, here's all this stuff. And then it only lasts until the convention's over. And then people who went were like, well, actually, and then they don't take it down because they're just like, well, I'm still getting traction. I'm like,
yeah, make follow-up videos for people that really deal with some like kind of, spatial anxiety.
Yeah, that's something like the way, like, I actually, like the way that I've seen some of, I think it was Anime Expo or one of them where it was packed like sardines in the lobby. I'm like, y'all never talk about those. But like Dream and Blerd, as compact as they seem, very much easier to navigate and move around and not get like swarmed by people. As much as the numbers might make you think otherwise, they do a good job with navigation. Like, yeah, if you're claustrophobic, I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, like I do love Queen City anime convention. It is at the Embassy Suites, and the traffic navigation there, it's pretty congested. So I like going there.
I've been to somewhere like Dragon Con. That's where I'm just like, God, like where? All right, I need to find like a corner where like I can have like 6 feet COVID room and just like that's the one that's like, all right, I need to like.
I try to find people who's been there before, and I try to ask directions or follow them or tag along with them. Show me the ropes.
I had like Navy had to find me a dragon and show me because I was like, I am lost.
So what do they have in the mall? The big old map. They need that at every.
They have they have that, but then it's like it's 3 hotels, and each hotel is like a series of floors. So it's like it's like a Zelda dungeon in there.
See, what they need to do in the future is no time soon, get those wrist navigators like on the Jedi Survivor.
Yeah.
It shows you the floors, you can space out. That's a lot. Maybe you can do it in an app or something, but it'll help out.
That's one of the few where I'm just like, this might be too much for me.
But so we're gonna get the audience that don't really know you that much, that may not have seen you that much. I'm not sure how, because it's everywhere. Give them an opportunity to get to know you a little bit better. You've been on YouTube for a while. You're a veteran. I think what year? 16?
17 officially. So I am 3 years younger than the platform. I made my account I think the first year they made them like publicly available to people. So I'm one of the older people who does not have everything linked through Google Plus or Gmail. Actually, my thing is actually linked to my old Hotmail account because that's.
I was gonna say Hotmail or AOL.
Yeah, because back then you could just make an account through anything, and the video limits were only 10 minutes a piece. stuff was getting chopped. Anime episodes were like 3.5 uploads and like mirrored in a right corner somewhere. I am very much from an OG era of the internet.
So you guys would not know how to navigate it if we went back to the style. You guys would be lost. But what was like your initial motivation for starting the channel, and how has that motivation changed, if it has changed at all?
Honestly, it was me and my friends. We were in our like early computer classes in middle school, and we were like just big. It was like when you start discovering your fandoms. I think Dark Knight had just come out. We got in the first Iron Man. We were big on like video games. The Wii had just dropped, so like we all were like heavy on like Newgrounds a lot. We would see a lot of the fan animations and the sprites and the what is it, like Sonic's Quest for Power, Super Mario Bros. V, that type of stuff. And we was like, we want to make our own things. And then like when anime was getting big, we were just learning what like AMVs were. So in our computer class, we were learning like Windows Movie Maker. So like some of us were making AMVs, some of us were making skits, some were making gameplay videos. So I was making like Sonic slideshows because that's like my favorite video game franchise. And then we learned how to use they had this old game called Hackland, which if you could find it, it's an old Flash game. It's a brain teaser. And we started learning how to do stick figure stuff in this app called Pivot. So then we started making Pivot videos. And then like little by little we got to high school and some people left it alone. I just never stopped. Like I took a break in high school because somebody stole my camera. But then when I got to college and I saw like a lot of the people coming up on Vine and whatnot, I was like, I could definitely do a lot better than this without being like a freak show or like some weird gimmick. So I was like, I'll do one skit, and if this sucks, I'll never do it again. And then some people at a party were like, that was funny. I'm like, I guess I'll do another one.
Okay, so you said a lot of things that really just made my brain light up. AMVs, you said stick figures.
Yep. If it's stick figure animated, that is an OG one.
So those were like actual phases and eras. I'm not sure if you can hear that right now. My wife got home, the garage door went up, and now my dog is like screaming outside.
That noise suppression that mic is doing it. I don't know.
But yes, AMVs. I'll say stick figures was probably first. Do you think like the stick figure fighting videos?
It was around that same time because like it was popular on Newgrounds. And people were making videos like similar to like what an AMV would look like with the music and the stick figure backgrounds.
It's where like Rob Zombie got a lot of his popularity with like the Rob Zombie stick figure series. I don't know if you remember that at all.
I think I remember some of it. I just know that there was also like a rock version of every damn song that came out, and that was the AMV. So yeah. It was like somebody did like a AMV of milkshakes, but it was like a rock band doing a cover of it. So it was like Neji's milkshakes, Rock Lee's, Hinata's. I'm like, who made this version and why does every single one of them hit? Like, and then we had LimeWire, so you could illegally acquire any footage you needed.
Now, when you think of AMVs, what is the one AMV that pops up in your mind? Like your favorite or most popular, or just like as soon as you say AMV, which one?
Oh, I want to say it was the Bound arc for Bleach when Hollow Ichigo comes back. Somebody made an AMV of basically Ichigo and his Hollow to Animal I Have Become. And then that was like my rediscover of alt music and what got me into the entire genre, because I definitely put that on my MP3 player like immediately after that. And it's been on every workout playlist since.
Dude, when I say it, honestly, it's not an AMV per se, but my default one is the Final Fantasy fan video. You remember that?
I feel like I know which one you're talking about. Is it like a super old thing?
It's pretty old, but I'm not sure. I think it's a little bit after like AMVs, really. It's kind of like a 3D. It's fan made Final Fantasy like fight scenes. It's like 3 episodes long or 4 episodes long. But outside of that, if nobody wants to count that because it's not really an AMV, I would say the Naruto versus Sasuke AMV.
Yeah, and then Lee versus Gara was
Gara.
also another one that people did a lot of.
I would just say any AMV that had Linkin Park attached to it.
And honestly, I think that's where a good chunk of their fan base back then came from. Like, who is singing this? Or even
Crawling in My Skin.
who was it that sang? Was it Drowning Pool that sang Reminded?
Oh wait, Drowning Pool was another one of them.
Yeah, bodies hit the floor. And then because of the intro for Revenge of Cooler, when they didn't license the old music, so the way it comes on with that guitar riff and then Bardock giving that speech, I was like, who is going in on this guitar? And I'm like, oh, it's Drowning Pool. And they used to put the rock songs in like all the Dragon Ball scores. So that's what got a lot of us into that music too.
Man, a lot of these people that did some of these popular AMV videos, I very much hope a lot of them got good jobs somewhere in like editing industry, because like some of them were so perfectly timed up with the fights, and back then it wasn't as easy to edit as it is now, I imagine.
Yeah, not at all.
So I always take my hat off to some of them. I'm like, oh my God, that was perfect.
Yeah, because I'm like, trying to do that back then was honestly a lot more of a hassle. So I'm like, you had to find all those clips and cut around them. You couldn't even like screen record as easy back then. I think, what is it? We had the, because people used to do emulate. We had like unregistered hypercam, and that was about it.
See, that was outside of burning CDs and, double taping and all that stuff. After that, my engineering skills kind of faded away. I stopped. I wasn't an editor until the last 2 years, until this podcast. But how has your motivation or goals changed with your channel and your content creating?
I don't know if they ever really changed. I really just like being able to put stuff out. Kind of coming from the era before niches were a thing, because that's kind of the thing I hate now about being in some of these spaces, or even how corporate some content has gotten lately. It's like, oh, well, what's your niche, or what thing do you do? And it feels like you're trying to figure out like what box I fit into. And I come from an era before those really like were a thing, so I get it. It's nice if you have one, but for me, it's just like whatever I want to put out is what I want to put out. Some days I do interviews, some days it's gonna be rants, one day it might be a skit, some days it might be story times. But I'm not gonna make like a separate page for all of those, because I've seen people who do that, and then they just end up falling off, because now you got more to manage and more to be in charge of.
Give yourself so much work.
Yeah, and then you end up not being able to be, because then these algorithms need you to be consistent with that page, because if you only post every now and then when you do that type of content, which is every 3 months or something. So for me, my motivation has just been to keep having fun, keep inspiring, keep seeing like what new things I can create or come up with, or if it's just an idea, how close to making that real can I get? And if it makes people laugh along the way, then that is enough for me.
Nice. So growing up as a Blerd, how was the nerd culture growing up where you're from, like going to school, and even more so, what was it like being a Blerd amongst the smaller subculture of nerds? Because back then it wasn't really mainstream.
Yes, it wasn't mainstream. Like my middle school life very much prepared me for my college life, because I got, and this is like in 2006, I got bused out the hood to a mostly white middle school, like hidden in like a suburb in the middle of Longwood, Florida, which is like on the west side of Orlando, if you know where that is. So middle school, I was literally living like Everybody Hates Chris as the show was on. So that, and then we get to the school. I'm saying there are other black kids from like the rich neighborhoods, but they're trying to act like what they think, because we're in the middle of that I'm So Hood, Carter 3, we taking over era.
Yeah.
So the black kids from the rich neighborhoods.
And that's Florida too. So that's probably a super movement down there.
Yeah, like, because we got a lot of like, we got because especially Orlando, we have like HBCU weekends and the Florida Classics and a lot of other like cultural events that come through. So you got these kids, rich black kids coming from the rich neighborhoods, who are acting like what they think our life is like. We're like, we go home to that. There's nothing cool about it. So I'm like, y'all are basically like Nunu from ATL, which is also currently out right now. And then what also got, like, I use humor not to cope with things, but to find understanding in places that it's not offered. Because then the only other like black person working at the school that we knew was this security guard who like hated black children. So I'm like, oh, this is like a female version of Ruckus from the Boondocks, because I had never experienced that before. So I'm like, someone's like, oh, we got like a sister who works here. I was like, nah, dog, she can't stand none of us. Like she treated us like criminals. So so being a Blerd on top of that was already different. I luckily found a group of friends who was like, we used to call ourselves the United Nations. Like I was a black friend, we had a Middle Eastern friend, we had a Native American friend, we had white friends, and we all liked like anime, manga, and video games. So that was like my tribe for those 3 years. High school found a little bit more people, but it was less shunned because there were so many different groups of people doing their own thing. Nobody really cared if you watched anime. Manga wasn't as accessible though. You had to like damn near personally request it from the librarian, and they would go get it from like somewhere in the back. But then it kind of became the same thing when I got to college. That's really where being a Blerd stood out, because as I got more, once I had my own money to spend, and I could buy like anime themed clothing or like Sonic jackets and hoodies or like throw blankets and decorate my dorm. And I got these white children at this mostly PWI in the most segregated state, which is Wisconsin, especially the Milwaukee area. And here we are with a lot of these conservative kids who've never experienced us outside of like what Fox News and mom and dad say. Exactly. So they're just like, we didn't know that like they made you, like you watch Dragon Ball Z, and even then they're like, we don't know much about anime. We also didn't know like black people watched it. So then freshman year, it was kind of like, we didn't know, like, what? You're not like anything what has been described to me. By sophomore year, people were hitting me up. And then by junior year, people were like proud, like, yo, did you see that new episode? Because then sophomore year, Battle of Gods came out. By our senior year, I think Dragon Ball Super was like everywhere. So by the time I graduated, it was more widely accepted. But going in, I kind of had to like pave the way for like everyone, white or black, who was like proudly, who wanted to proudly be a fan, was like, but afraid of people think. I'm like, I don't care. I'm at the track meets wearing like Dragon Ball clothing. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it was it's funny because I had a lot of, not a lot, but it was a little similar because I was military, and then my parents divorced in like 6th grade. So I've been like hood, grew up in the hood, and grew up in the suburbs, grew up in the hood, grew up in the suburbs, and grew up in a military base to high school. Basically, high school was the one school I went to from, not the entire time, but 10th through the rest of my years. And that's when it was kind of acceptable. Nobody really was paying attention that much. But before that, it was not great. And then little did you know, everyone else was secretly watching anime. So
that was my thing.
What was it all for?
like freshman year, especially when it would be like, you get like some of the black kids from the inner city who want to fit in so bad. So they would like try to stunt on me publicly about like watching stuff. It's like, oh yeah, like I just heard like a Japanese screaming, like, what are you watching over there? But I'm like, but you are into the same shit, so like, why are you trying to put me down? But then so that summer I go see Battle of Gods with my brother and my homegirl's little brother, because he wanted to go, and he was like, hey, so they got Dragon Ball Z back in the movies? I'm like, why are you whispering yes? And then by
I was gonna say, were you in the library?
my junior year, people were like, yo, what anime websites you be going to? Or like, what sites? So like, you got Funimation.com, or where can I watch One Piece? And I'm like, so now I'm like the anime guru, but at the same time, what also kept me going was I'm the same age as, I was in the same grade as Mark from RDC and Berlizzi. So I'm like, I'm seeing these other two dudes across the country doing the same thing as me at the same time, in the same age, in the same grade. People are supportive of them doing it, not me so much. I'm like, at least I know I'm not crazy, because here's two other people doing the same thing, and they're winning for that. So at least that kind of inspired me to keep going, especially because I found out, like, I learned recently, like, Berlin's story mirrors mine a lot, especially because of where I went to school and like the clubs I was involved in.
Yeah.
So that was also kind of a big help in keeping it pushing once I got out of school.
Nice. Now, do you have like a comedic inspiration in general, or any type of TV show that inspired you to actually get into like doing skits and stuff like that?
Nothing specifically. I just watched a lot of older YouTubers growing up. I watched finally met him after like potentially crossing paths because we both are from the same city. Got to meet Swoozy this year. Who was basically like the first and major guy for being doing like animation videos. I equals 3 with Ray William Johnson, which that shows like the reason we have reaction content in the first place and legally have like the fair use stuff. His band Your Favorite Martian, and he was doing Breaking NYC, which was like his own vlog reality show, like early stages of PewDiePie. So, and then like people like Dashy XP, who's from Miami. So I like sampling just a little bit of everything, because all those people I watched experiment with different types of content and still play with it here and there. So that type of stuff always really stuck out to me. So I never really had like one style. I've always just been like, I wonder if I can do my own version of that or like play with that. Like even this year was kind of my first year trying anything like actually animated and cartoonish.
Okay, nice. Blerd Station. How did you find yourself being involved with Blerd Station, and why do you think, in your perspective, everything they're doing is so important?
So I started helping on Blerd's Eye like a couple years ago just as an editor. Just because we get a lot of cool moments, but there was nobody really cutting them up. And there was another show I was supposed to be doing that for, but communication kind of fell through. So I was like, just let me like try it for a little bit. We'll see if it works. And then Kevin, our head guy in charge over at Blerd Station, kind of noticed, and he wanted to put together a press corps because he saw how, we kind of pulled together and we're doing stuff at Blerd, doing stuff at Dream, J1. And he kind of let us know what it was, that he just needed kind of people to go out and do stuff. Especially because I knew how to kind of rally that stuff together and flip the things we're doing into promotion for that. I signed up. Also, I think it's cool, just Black speculative fiction, because we've always had a story here and there, but we've never had like a solid hub. Like the stuff we've gotten, like Sinners, Lovecraft Country, it's the stuff that people have said yes to, while the other 30 ideas get left on the table because they're only looking for one idea like that. So the idea that we could build a place where we don't get just like 1 or 2 of those a year, or they don't promote it so then it falls off, or like, because we're still waiting on a season 2 of Supercell. I think Raising Dion got like, they very much were like, all right, here for like a second season, and then they canceled that shortly after. And then we had Luke Cage, which was more MCU-ish, but waiting on these legal things to pass over. That got canceled, and we're still waiting to see if anything comes of that all these years later. So a place where we could build that and let people put in on it, show them what we're doing, showing that it's full of genuine people with the same mission, and that they also don't take your IP and then just throw it on the shelf or put it on a tax write-off, which is a death sentence if it happens. Which we would hope that you would stay with us, but if you get a better deal, we don't take that from you. You have all free reign to go, which I think is a great selling point and something that really isn't replicated yet. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, when I seen everything that you guys were doing with Blerd Station, I was like, I gotta be involved with this, because this is it's the whole reason why I kind of got into this media space anyway, is because of the way we grew up as Blerds and how, scarce any type of anime related event. Like if there was an anime related event, it wasn't really anime related. It was like a kiosk with that one person who likes anime or martial arts movies, so they have a bunch of different things, for that stuff, like at their kiosk. But otherwise you don't know anything about that except from word of mouth or Toonami, and those aren't events. Those are just, everyday, viewings where we just crave we can have more.
Yeah, even then, that's really what put a lot of us on was Toonami, because it was on basic cable, and then we had a lot of these stories that the companies didn't have faith in, but were relatable to us, because it's like, hey, we also come from an impoverished people, or people that has lost their tribe or their land, or they're trying to get back what was taken from them. It's like we can relate to a lot of it. Also, it's for the most part free, and we have access to it like immediately once we get out of school. So
and and another reason why all nerd entertainment exists, because it didn't really hit me when I had kids, but like doing something about it really hit me when I had kids. It's like I meet so many people like growing up. I met so many people in Wilmington, North Carolina, working as a cook for like the past whatever years until I met my wife. But so many talented Black, artists, creators, just so many smart people around, and they don't know each other. Like my brain works out. It's like, I don't even want to be involved. Like nothing for me to gain. It's just like, yo, if you knew this one guy I knew, you guys could make like magic. Like I know it could happen. And that's kind of how my brain works. I just like, promoting things that cool shit I see, basically. Like if it's cool, I just like, hey, have you seen about this? Like, have you heard about this? You know this guy? Like you seen what he's been doing? So that's why Blerd Station is amazing to me. And if you haven't already, I've said it a million times, go ahead and subscribe to Blerd Station. If you already subscribed and you didn't know that we switch some things over and we have to resubscribe, go back and resubscribe.
Yeah, we're already going through our first couple of black hurdles with the just trying to build something cool, and folks can't mind the damn business. So yeah, we have all our funding. They just for some reason cut off all our subscriptions. So if you subscribed before, we just need you to turn it back on, basically. For they decided to just flick the switch and then leave the room. We still don't fully get what that was about, but it's fixed. If you haven't, it is $10.99 a month, I believe. They're gonna kill me if I get this wrong. 12, 24, 36 months, and then you own a piece of the pie, basically. We're still taking investors, we're still taking purchases. It is, I believe, cheaper than your Netflix and soon to be your Delulu subscription, because Disney Plus and Hulu are merging and Hulu's going goodbye. And also, we're going to try to keep everything on the platform and not divide it into 15 other apps that you don't need to pay for. But if you want to know more, please go to blerdstation.com. We're doing our best to pull in the best of every community from the Blerd realm and build all the bridges we can. So from TV shows, anime, manga, web series, or just trying to show support to people putting stuff out. Like I know Cheyenne the Geek and Zena Robinson are putting out the comic shop, which everyone should go and check out whenever that drops.
Comic shop.
Yeah, watch them fund that. Have been telling people about it. We've been promoting it on our own socials as well. So
I mean, that show looks so fun. It looks like it's going to be so good. I'm having fun just watching the reels and seeing how much fun they're having, like going through their journey. And that's not even the show. It's
always dope to see stuff like that come together. But it's just like when you try to take that through the official routes, they pass on it, or they'll take one of us, but then the rest of us, like, I think it used to be 10 billion, but now thanks to this anti-DEI wave, it's now 30 billion, and like black ideas get left on the table every year because these other people don't pick them up, or they're just like, well, we got one, we don't need the other 9, or to even look at the other 9 or 19 or 90 that come through. So like, it's great. We have our Lovecrafts, our Sinners, our Black Panthers, our Interview with the Vampires, our Castlevanias, whatever anime Meg is working on. But like, there's so many other things that like that got put up in place of, which could also just coexist. It's also why I try to like build bridges in the community a lot, because I feel like we've been brainwashed into this Highlander mentality of like there can only be one. Where I'm like, hey, you shake hands, and after that I just leave. Like there's been plenty of times.
Exactly.
There's been plenty, because like I don't need to because that's the weird part. I don't need to foster the relationship. If it works out, cool. Like.
But you don't have to foster it. But like when you have that perfect meeting, that perfect setup, tell me you don't sometimes sit in the back, cross your legs like a grandma or a proud mom, just sipping the tea. You don't even need no credentials or credits or anything.
Yeah,
it's like
that's me once the weekend is over. But like,
look at them grow.
like my homie Ozzy and his art, like him and Cleo, him and my homie Petty. Him and Carl Jones, who worked on the Boondocks, that was all me being like, hey, you come here, shake hands. And once they started talking, you literally can see me. I think when he's meeting Carl, you can see me like in the background, just like Homer Simpson out the way, Because like once they get like so, because he's like Carl's amazed at the art, Ozzy's amazed at who he's talking to, and you see me in the back like y'all got it, and I just kind of like, all right, let's go do this with somebody else. But then seeing that like they've had partnerships with each other or like done business together, and I'm like, I didn't need to be there for it, but I was the one to make sure that foundation was laid down, is dope. And I like being able to do that for people, and I've been able to do that for Blerds a lot too. Whereas I'll meet people out in the street, and I'm just like, my friends got this podcast, you should come through, and then they end up coming through. Like one of our most viral clips was Phil Lamar telling us why Static Shock got canceled. But that was because that was from me chasing him down at Dragon Con, and which never again. That was me flagging him down, meeting his manager, which that's also stuff I've had to learn, which is why I started that anime convention survival guide kind of skit. We got 30 seconds, so we're gonna take a break. We're gonna take a break real quick, but we are gonna jump back into talking about connections and why things in the Black community are awesome and should be promoted. I'll be right back.
Hey there, convention friend. Just checking in and seeing how it's going. I see that wall is full of badges. Great. Oop, I know that noise. I know that face. Somebody just got a rejection email. It's okay. It happens to the best of... Wait, where are you going?
Hey, real talk. To everybody involved with that convention, the staff, the volunteers, whoever. Real talk. Man,
Whoa, easy there, friendo. Had to come from behind the camera on this one. Ladies and gentlemen, what you almost just witnessed is something that you never want to be in this nerdy culture we all hold near and dear. Don't be a convention crash out.
Before we took our break, we left off talking about specifically supporting Black creators and Blerd stations and things like that. And I wanted to ask you, like, one of your personal favorite, Black creative avenues that you stumbled upon or found out about because it's now more mainstream now. Like, for instance, mine is Black comic book writers and illustrators. It's like when you talk about leaving Black ideas on the table and like the movie industry and things like that. There's been researches and articles about how many billions of dollars we left on the table annually because of the racial barrier and stuff like that. But then now you see like Kickstarters around and all these Blerd conventions, and you're seeing like Black comic books. It's building up now, but the Black superhero universe is insane. These stories and this artwork is incredible. Like, so that's one of the things that I do a lot, like where I spend most of my money is like going to like the indie comic book, Black indie comic book stands and panels and things like that, and purchasing all these cool ass comic books that no one's ever heard of, and stuff like that. Like recently we just interviewed Jay Hero. He has a Kickstarter right now for Star Wielder. It's his first comic book that he wrote himself. He's an award-winning illustrator and all, but this one currently is his that he wrote and illustrated. So things like that. That's what I've been. That's my current favorite avenue. Do you have a Black creative avenue that you like? You're like, wow, we're amazing.
Yeah, I've always liked Black animation or like those kind of story time sketches. Like I said, Swoozy is, if you ever watch his content, he's been making stuff since like I think YouTube first started back in like the early 2000s. And he was kind of the one who paved the way for like a lot of people who do those type of content now and have kind of blown up off. And he was doing stuff just on like DeviantArt back then. But then as his stories got like more vibrant, I was like, oh, this dude literally has lived near me like my entire life, and I've never once seen him. And then he got like prime time. And I know I think he's out in Cali now. But like when he tells stories about like, oh, that Best Buy or that Target, or I'm like, I know exactly where he's talking about. Or when he's like, I got driving while black and I got pulled over by this female cop. I'm like, I know exactly which street because I've almost had accidents there too. Or when he would do like giveaways sometimes. He's like, if you know where this Twisty Treat is, I'm like, that is outside the gym I was in like 45 minutes ago. So it's having somebody like that beneficial, or that who put on for the community that as much as he did. And then we never met any of as much as we lived in like the same territory and he would come through all the time. I didn't meet him until DreamCon this year. And he was like, oh, you're like from home. I'm like, yeah, I'm just another Caribbean kid who grew up in that 407 area code. But I'm like, I guarantee I walked past you as one of these crazy stories you were experiencing was happening in real time. He's like, he's like, but it took Texas for us to link up. But he's like, I'm glad it happened. And then other people like another dude I know, Eli SoFly, who's coming up. Eli's videos are hilarious because he's also telling just stuff about having like ADHD or his real life going on. My man Chase Conley, who was actually a storyboard artist on X-Men 97, he's got this this animatic he's working on called Die Laughing, which is actually really interesting. So I always like seeing like just the black animation realm when people just are free to do what they want with it versus them having to work on someone else's project. So, and even then, growing up with like, you had Swoozie on the internet and Boondocks in real life, and it's like those are like the two things. I'm like, these people are telling stories that I'm glad other people like me actually are experiencing. It's not just me. I'm not crazy. So yeah, black animation I've loved a lot. Did my first kind of animation this year with my sister and a friend's help. I did my an idea for like a third Goofy movie, and I just did like 3 scripted scenes from that. I did all the voices. They did the storyboards and put that out a couple months ago.
Nice. Yeah, I did see that. I was going to ask you about that. The Battlefield 6 sketch, was that your animation? I couldn't.
The video from Battlefield. So Battlefield Friends is another OG kind of YouTube channel. It was Hank and Jed, and then it was I'm trying to think what was the other guy. There was a guy named Appspro and a couple other people who were on there, and they had like their own animation channels, and they would make kind of like some crazy stuff. And then they came together for back when Machinima was still around. That's used to be where like all the nerdy gaming content was out. So Machinima started taking cartoons, and they made this thing called Battlefield Friends, where they just kind of made fun of like glitches and stuff in the game. And that's what got me. That's what got me and a lot of my friends into the Battlefield franchise, was because of those guys. So one of the cartoons they did was like, yeah, if you drive your car and hit the median on the road in a couple levels, you just get stuck and you have to get someone else with another car to hit you out. And it was like an actual glitch that didn't get fixed for a while. So when I'm playing the beta, that was actually like my gameplay. So I'm just like, this is exactly. So I go and the tank is flipped over, and I see like people with repair torches trying to do it. I see people with defibrillators. I'm like, this is exactly like that episode. So I literally just took the audio from that cartoon and just put it over my game.
Put everything.
Yeah. So I'm like, it's lit. I'm like, because now their stuff has aged so well that like when a new game comes out, people are like, oh, this is exactly like what they made before. So
it's almost like Simpsons-esque.
Yeah, it's like EA Games has learned nothing. We just keep repeating the cycle.
Nice. So where do you see yourself, or do you have a end game in mind when it comes to this nerd, producer, content creator type role? Do you have like a dream gig or goal?
I don't know. I think being able to, if I could build myself up enough to I had a platform to say, here's someone cool in black, go support this, and enough people like militarized and immediately just followed that. I would like to build my platforms up to that place, and only use my powers for good. But
just had to get that disclaimer out first.
Yeah. Just, I'm not gonna drag a whole lot of people. Only people that like keep pressing the button after I
The
told them to
ones that
stop.
deserve to be dragged.
Yeah, like even that is just like, here's the attention they've been asking for. Like even that Ironheart skit I did, I was questioning putting the other groups of people in there because I'm like, I might get in trouble for this, but I'm not lying. But I would like to build up to that. I've always wanted to do like this creator kind of think tank, like the way Mr. Beast is like, I left these people in here for like 3 months and blah. I'm like, what if you did that with like just people who have the drive and like the talent, they just don't have the free time or the finances? Yeah. Put them in like a place where all they do is create for like a month or a year and then come back and see if they can sustain themselves. If not, maybe it's not for them. But I think it'd be cool to have some kind of Black creator hub similar to that. That would be like my ultimate goal. I don't know how I would do it. Also, I think I've found I'm good at a lot more behind the scenes stuff, so I don't have to be in front of everything all the time.
Yeah.
Because editing's fine, but then having to edit on top of shooting and scheduling and all that is a bit more of a headache. That's why, like, even with Blerds, I would go out at the cons and I would pull people in to come on the podcast. But when the episode comes in, I wouldn't be there because I'm like, I feel like I've done my part already. Just let me know when the footage is there and I'll start chopping it.
Yep.
And even with I think what really got me more into like the more directional roles, even with like the stream this year, like some of the messages and the PSAs we had going, that was me telling people like, hey, I just need you to give me like a 30-second video, just describe these plot points and then just give it to me. Or, hey, I need you to just, here's the script, just film it, send me the footage, I'll cut it. Like our welcome message, a couple of the sponsor messages that we got. Because some people were like, put money in, which I appreciate, but they're like, I don't know what to do with. I'm like, okay, here's 3 bullet points, cut the camera on, answer these 3 questions, I'll clean it up and just we'll play it like every 30 minutes. And I kind of accepted the role last year at BlerdCon because it was me, Cleo, DJ Dimitri. It was like 4 a.m. after one of the after parties, and Dimitri is like slumped in his Powerline costume talking to me. I'm like, dude, go to bed. And he just like keeps falling asleep and then like continuing his conversation. So he wakes up and he's just like, so yeah, me and Cleo are doing this Powerline sketch tomorrow. If you want to help us out, I'm like, okay. So then he's and if anybody saw it, it's like the Powerline rap battle, kind of like Super Hot Fire.
Yep,
I was the one.
I got myself a notion, and one I know that you'll understand.
To set the world in motion by reaching out for each other's hand.
Maybe we'll discover what we should have known all along.
One way or another, together is where we both belong.
I was the one holding the camera and kind of like rallying the people. So then he's like, all right, Tafari, what do we do? I'm like, this was your idea and you have the people following. I'm just here to help. And then immediately I kind of just snapped into it. I was like, all right, look, I just need like this many people stand over here in this corner and then make like a half circle. So that way I can kind of like go around and that way it looks like we have a room full of people. And then you can see me kind of like burning my knees when I like zoom in on everyone's faces and I'm wearing shorts. So I'm like getting rug burn as I'm going across the room. But the video came out great.
Yeah,
so
it definitely did.
That was like one of my first major acceptance of like my directional behind the scenes role and things. So I think doing more of that while being free to create my own stuff and help other people, at least with like advice and giving them directions to put them and propel them into the right spotlight without me having to like baby them through it, would be my ultimate spot.
Okay, yeah, and that's very very cool because that's kind of why I thought of that question to ask you because that the last story you said how you were forced into that directional role just now because I feel like I don't know you very well, but like I watch your work and I've hung around you twice now because of 2 Blerd cons. And I see you're very good at a lot of things, and especially in this media space where we're at, like creating the content, being in front of the camera, whether that's something you want to do or not. You have this cadence that works for this kind of like, it's not deadpan, but it's a I don't know how to describe the type of delivery in the comedy that just works. It kind of keeps people like wanting to keep watching. And I also knew you did a lot of the producing work, so I didn't know what you actually wanted to do. That was just a question for me. I was curious on like where you saw yourself mostly, because like you said, Dimitri, he sees you as a director. That's why he was like, "Hey, what do we do?" Like, I thought I'd get you, and you just come to you because it seems.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from, because like they were doing the power line stuff all weekend, and like that was dope, and I was like just kind of hanging around him saying what's up in passing, but
was he wrong?
He wasn't, because he just asked me to do it, and then when we got there, he's like, "Okay, how do we get these people?" I'm like, "This is a you question. I should be." But
nope.
Cleo
he's
was
like, I know you know this answer.
Yeah, but when we went to the vigilante screening on Thursday, Cleo was the one who hit me up and was like, "You ever think about doing more behind the scenes stuff? Because like being in front of the camera is cool, but if you can like, you're very good at like making a moment happen, or you're very good at like capitalizing on something and then making sure like it benefits everyone, and not everyone can do that." He's like, "I'm saying that from someone who's been in like this professional side of this business for 30 plus years. Like, what you do and how you go about it isn't common, so please hold on to that and try to exercise that more." And then like 2 days later, we shot that 3 days later, Sunday, we shot that sketch, and I was like, Cleo had a point. And I guess Dimitri saw it too, because he's like, "What are we doing?" Because that's me. Like, I'm immediately like kind of deadpan, and then something just kind of snaps in me all the time where I'm just like, "Okay, here's my brand. Here's how we figure this out. It's either gonna work or it doesn't." I never get too caught up in the conundrum. My mind immediately moves to a solution, and yet Cleo was like, "Dude, not a lot of people have that like that mindset or that instinct. Like, like hone that shit in."
It trust me, because I have like a million ideas, good and bad, that never get initiated because I get hung up on tiny little details. Like this podcast going for a year and a half is a huge success in my opinion, to me, because I'm super ADHD and all that stuff. I do a lot of things. I try a lot of things, and master of none. But I know a lot about a little bit about a lot of things. That's the type of thing. So I automatically like see and gravitate to people that kind of keep me in that headspace and things like that. And that's why I was thinking about that question, because he sees you as a director. I knew you were good at behind the scenes and stuff, but also I started noticing, I'm like, he could be like a late night host or something. I'm not sure if he likes being in front of the camera, but he's good at it.
I mean, I've usually done it all because I've been on
being in front of the camera.
Yeah, I've been on one man team all the time. Like even if I have input from other people, they very much like, "I'm not getting on camera, but here's like some pitches of what I think you could work into it," and I'll try to do stuff like that. Like even when I was in school and I started making sketches, because this is around 2016 election era and stuff was getting kind of intense, and a little as bold as things are now with the way people are talking out of their neck. So I started making videos that are like, "Well, since I have your attention with the funny, here's the same jokes, but with a little more black delivery and telling y'all to knock certain stuff off." And then I would have other students on campus who were like, "I'm not getting on camera and saying that because I don't want to be a martyr, but since you're making this anyway, you can add this in there. You can add this in there." So I became like the voice of the the voice of the silent Black student body. So I was taking all the heat, but I'm just like, y'all realize it's not just me saying these things, though, right? But
nope, you're just for some reason you listen when I say it like this.
Yeah, that's basically it. I'm like, if I hit you with a couple good punchlines, or dress a certain way, or wear just like a bandana on my head to cover my hair, and I know you'll stick through the entire thing. Same thing with when I did the anime hot takes, I threw out like 20 good ones.
I was good.
And then the last two, I was like, because we're at a Black convention, I'm like, hey, Black people can voice act who they want, and they can cosplay who they want. And then I did the whole super hot fire thing at the end. And then people are angry. I'm like, but I know you watched to the end because you had to stay to the very end to get to that point. But I've always been just jack of all trades, and it's just 17 years of trial and error. So I don't even look at it as, oh, I'm good at this, good at this. It's just I've had to do this because I don't have a team of people. All my videos, I'm basically talking to myself and critiquing myself, or doing multiple takes and then trying to see if that lines up with the takes I did in character as this character. I've never really had like a team of people to sit with me or record with me or shoot with me and be like, oh, you should try it this way. So it's just a lot of self-taught stuff that I just try to help with other people. Or so even the more behind the scenes stuff, I'm like, I can't be everywhere at once. So here's how I would do it if I could, and here's how I think you should do it with your kind of style or niche. And it's kind of just, it kind of just activates in me versus like I even realize I'm doing it or good at it. So with the live streams, the podcast, the edits I do for other people, and then I try to give back a little. Like that's why I kind of started the anime convention advice, because I'm like, this is all stuff no one taught me this. I had to learn all of this through trial and error. Like I did it in a goofy Disney fashion, but I'm genuinely hoping this helps somebody.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 2 years into my convention career, and I actually, I've used that video as for advice a few times. So
Okay,
I was like, yeah, because I like the what is it, the guidelines, or so, there is something that they send out an app wise that helps out a lot. But I was like, oh my god, this video is actually pretty useful.
Yeah, they usually send out like guidelines and information and whatnot. I'm just like, you get people who just buy a ticket and show up, and it's like, well, what do I do? I'm like, dude, check your email sometimes.
What do I do?
or find who the contact person is on email and in person. That'll save you a lot of grief. And this is all stuff I had to experience in order to figure it out. So,
and then Facebook groups.
That too.
Discords. The people are very helpful. Like it's not like back in the day where, I'm not saying people weren't friendly, but people are a lot more like wanting to help people, especially in the Blerd and nerd community.
Yeah, like you might meet a few knuckleheads here and there, but that doesn't represent the whole community, which is why I kind of went on that rant a couple months ago.
Yeah, no community is perfect.
It's not. So I'm saying I wish y'all quit being so hard on each other or using your platform the wrong way just because like you didn't get invited to whatever after party or something, so now the whole con has to suffer. Because it's got such a negative ripple effect. And I was like, I watch often, I speak very little. But so I was like, I didn't think anybody was gonna sit through all 7 minutes of me ranting about this, but glad y'all did. But yeah, it's a lot of everything I've learned has been trial and error and self-taught. It's been a lot of just teaching myself or just discovering new stuff. Like I didn't know how to green screen till like maybe right when COVID hit, and that was 3 years of me owning software that could do green screen.
That could do it.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't know what that button did until I randomly saw it in like a
video or something.
A Reddit thread. Someone's like, yeah, use the and someone's like, you don't need a green screen. Just get some poster boards. So like the first couple of times I tried it, I had like 4 poster boards stapled together.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, that actually works. So that's another way I've been doing stuff. It's a whole lot of that, or I'll get inspired by things, and I'm just like, until the technology exists or I can find a way to do that. Because like even my streaming journey, I didn't know streaming was going to be as big as it is now, but like my streams that I do now, I've been wanting to do that since like I got out of college.
Yeah.
And honestly, pandemic would have been a great time to invest in that because everybody was stuck in the house. But now everyone's doing a marathon or a subathon, and people are like, oh, you inspired by? Like, I'm inspired by nobody with like a 2 in the first digit of their birth year. Like all my stuff, and like no shade to them, but like all my ideas came from people that like were out when I was in middle school. Like, like I like being able to, like, emulating is cool, but I like the fact that I found a way to hook my old video games up to my computer and then a way to exercise while doing them, which is something I wanted to do for like 6 years. And now I'm just now doing it.
Yeah, I'm like, man, he really, I don't know how much trouble you went through, but I was like, man, how did he get, he's playing what? Like, it's not an emulator?
It's a lot of not throwing stuff away.
Yeah, that's key.
Yeah.
Where do I get these things that I used to have?
Not throwing stuff away. AV to HDMI converter, which that idea came from like an old Dashi video from like 2011. Because I remember he showed off his collection and he's like, yeah, this is how I get it to the new TV. And he had like a switchboard. And he's like, yeah, you just plug all the AVs into this thing and then you just press which button you want to activate and it goes to the big TV. And I'm like, I could use something like that. And then it goes into my card, which then goes into the computer. And I'm just like, okay, so this isn't as hard. Hardest thing is hauling that damn treadmill in here because my door is at an angle right by the wall. So I got to like wriggle it in here and then wiggle it into this space. And then by the time it's set up, I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore.
A lot of movement.
Yeah, a lot of movement, trying to get the camera set up and then trying to make sure it's angled correctly because I only got so much space to work with in here. So that's been the newest and fun part of my journey. Because now I'm in a place where I can, again, being behind the scenes allows me more time to work on stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's always cool to look back and see the relationships that I helped create and what they've blown up into, or the partnerships, or the just people I've been supportive of, connecting with each other. Like, I mean, Ozzy, Cleo, Cloudy McDoom, trying to think a couple other people that I've had shake hands, a couple of the people that have come on Blerd's Eye, Phil Lamar, and just folks I've met here and there who I've been able to like push to other people. I'm like, you two would clearly are the missing piece to each other's puzzle, but y'all walk past each other 6 times. Like, both of y'all come over here.
Y'all go to the same convention every year. Haven't said one word to each other.
Because they're just like, yeah, I see the art or I see his content. I didn't know he was here. I'm like, did anyone bother to tell y'all? But,
nope.
And then I think one of the dopest ones was homie, your boy Roshi, because I had them meet at DreamCon out here in Dallas. And then when he opened his warehouse, Roshi actually took his wife and kids down there to like a grand opening. So seeing little black moments like that happen, and like, I don't have a big following, but I've just had a lot of small existences in big places, and that can do a lot for people just as much as having like a large number. Because I've always said it. For some reason, you try to get me to reach the masses and nobody hears me. Give me somebody with a blue check next to their name. For some reason, I hit that target every single time.
Nice. Well, we also look forward to helping and watching you foster relationships, grow your platform as well. I'm going to we got about 10-12 minutes left. I'm going to try to wrap it up with a quick little trivia game, because you are one of the more well-learned nerds and blerds in the community. You know a lot of nook and cranny facts that a lot of people overlook and stuff. Questions may be a little not even in your league,
Okay.
But I did my best to come up with a good game to fill out time. Without further ado, welcome to the Nerdcast Podcast Trivia Showdown. Today's special contestant is TafariTv, and today's theme is pure nostalgia, 90s, 2000s, Cartoon Network, Toonami, and classic video games. And we're going to do a little bit like this. You have medium questions, hard questions, and we're going to try to fit in 3 rounds if we can. If not, I will adjust. Let's go ahead and get into the first round. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. So, first round, Cartoon Network deep cuts, if you want to call it that.
Okay.
All right. So, in the codename Kid Next Door, what sweet treat was at the center of their very first mission?
mention. I'm trying to think because I know they had the. Was it ice cream?
That is correct. It was ice cream.
Yeah, because they had the. Because I was trying I know the first episode. What is it? Were they in like the Arctic, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I know they have that episode merged with the. What is it? It was the. I don't think he ended up becoming a character, but there was like a scientist and a monkey, and it was like part of their pilot episode. And I remember that episode being attached to it. Okay.
See, I knew he was going to be good at this game. All right, next question. What was the name of the tall, red, basketball-playing imaginary friend in Foster's Home of Imaginary Friends?
Wilt, played by Phil Lamar.
That is correct. that was a softball. That should have been the first question, honestly. Next one. Johnny Bravo. What was Johnny's mom's name? And this one, I was like, I don't know if there's something that's easily forgettable that I don't know if our softballs or actually like kind of.
Did they ever say it? I don't know.
They did.
Was it Susan?
Nope.
What was it?
Bunny Bravo.
Really? I haven't seen Johnny in so long.
All right, next one. Courage the Cowardly Dog. What was the name of the talking computer in Courage's house? I'll give you a hint. Somewhat of a trick question.
Was it just computer?
The computer is correct.
Okay.
All right. What Cartoon Network block introduced shows like Dexter, Johnny Bravo, Powerpuff Girls before they actually became series?
Was it Cartoon Fridays?
Cartoon Fridays is correct.
Okay.
All right, that was round one.
Okay.
So, round two, I'm gonna go Toonami and video games.
Okay.
We got 8 minutes left. Let's see what we can fit in here. All right. In Dragon Ball Z, who was the first character to reach Super Saiyan 2?
Gohan.
That is correct. Cell Games. In Naruto, what was the name of the forbidden scroll Naruto stole in episode 1?
I know it was the scroll that had the shadow clone jutsu. I don't remember the name of the scroll though. Was it just called Hidden Ninja Scroll?
Nope.
What was it?
I think that was your first incorrect answer. The Scroll of Seals.
Oh, okay. I didn't know I had a name.
What PS2 game starred Jet Li in 2004?
Was it Enter the Fist? No, it was based on a. I know when you're talking because I can see the trailer. Damn. Pass.
That one is Rise to Honor.
That's what it was. Because I know he had a movie. He had a movie. You know what it was? I get confused because the one came out around that same time.
Yep.
And that's basically what I thought it was. I always call it the one, the video game, but I know that's not the name of it.
And then I can't think of it right now, but I forgot the name of the damn movie. It's drawing a blank on me, but I always think of it first. That I would call this.
Romeo Must Die?
No, it's one of Jet Li's movies. Oh wait, yes, that's obviously Jet Li's movie. I don't know why I said that, but it's like a more foreign type, you know.
Oh,
I can't remember the name to save my life, but because we're running out of time, I will forget about it. All right, this one may be a little difficult. In Cowboy Bebop, what is the name of Faye Valentine's spaceship?
They're gonna crucify me. I've never watched Bebop in its entirety.
That is fine. You know what? We are not in the age of shaming, gatekeeping anymore. No more will black kids not learn how to play spades because of shame.
Yeah, Bebop and Shampoo. Those are
What I say to people whenever they say I haven't watched it, I'm sorry. I was like, no, I'm doing this face because I'm jealous you get to watch it for the first time.
Bebop and Shampoo. Those are two.
Shampoo, honestly, I would go first. Bebop, I mean, it's a little slow for some people, especially nowadays because anime. But I think you're kind of in that nostalgia range. You play a lot of very old games, so I don't think it's a problem for you.
All right, what is the answer to the ship?
The Red Tail.
Yeah, I wasn't getting that.
All right, next one. In The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask. What mask did Skull Kid wear to gain his powers?
Is it just called the Majora's Mask?
Ding, ding, ding. Another quick trick question.
That's one of the main ones I haven't played. I played the main 3. I never played the sequels. I played Twilight, Ocarina, Wind Waker. I never played Spirit Tracks, Majora's Mask.
I'm like that with like how you were with Shampoo and Cowboy Bebop. I'm like, I haven't played all these Switch ones and Game Boy Advance ones and stuff like that. I only played the original Game Boy one, which I don't think I've ever beaten, and Ocarina of Time and a couple of other ones after that. But I want to, I just never had the time. All right, real quick, we got 30 seconds to not 30 seconds left, but 30 seconds to answer as many questions as you can. Are you ready?
Go ahead.
All right. What year did Toonami premiere?
1999.
1997.
That was
In
two.
Samurai Jack, who voiced Aku?
I don't know his name, but he was also the voice of Uncle Iroh, and he did pass away a few years ago. I'm blanking on it.
Mako Iwamatsu. I'll take that. I'll take that as a correct answer because nobody. If you know that, you kind of know who it is. What color is Knuckles in Sonic the Hedgehog?
Red.
Who killed Raditz?
Piccolo.
Yu Yu Hakusho. What was Hai's signature attack?
Signature attack.
Or Hiei's, sorry.
Was it the thing? Was it the dragon attack with his arm?
Ding, ding, ding. Dragon of the Darkness Flame. I'm very, forgiving. So this isn't,
That's another one I got to go through.
All right. Let me go down some. Who was Tom's AI partner on Toonami?
Sarah.
That's good. That's a good one. And you haven't seen Cowboy Bebop, so this last question does not apply to you. It was, what breed of dog was Ein in Cowboy Bebop, which was a Pembroke Welsh Corgi.
Okay.
All right. So I would say in scoring this, you got just under Legendary Boss Slayer, which is 46 points. 36 to 45 points is Gaming and Cartoon Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, TafariTv, can any of you dare to step up and try to crush that score? I'm gonna put that high score up. Any interviewers that come on, they're welcome to challenge it. I don't think you're gonna beat it. Nobody's gonna beat it for a while. I don't know. I might have to think of harder questions, maybe. A lot of that stuff I was Googling, like some answers, like, to be honest, I thought I was trying to think of a Cowboy Bebop question, but I couldn't think of anything hard enough, and I was like, what was the name of the ship? I was like,
that's one I gotta go through it. I gotta go through that in Yu at some point.
Oh man. But Tafari, I appreciate you hanging out. Is there anything that you want to plug? Your socials, any events coming up, any Blerd Station stuff you want to plug before you head out?
Blerdstation.com. We've had people reaching out to us with stuff about a lot. Please go to the contact page if you have anything and someone will get back to you. We don't have all the answers to all your inquiries, but we appreciate that y'all know us by name and face to talk to. I am on all socials underneath this name, so if you're looking for me on whatever you can post on, I promise you I'm there. I've made it easy to find me. Posting on my channels regularly. Streams are Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Currently going through Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Looking for, and I do take recommendations because somebody had me go through the Ed, Ed and Eddie video game the other day, and I actually beat that in one sitting. That's the first time I've ever played it. I actually had a lot of fun.
Nice.
Playing
I do
that.
remember that. Or actually, am I thinking of like a computer game?
They probably both. They had the CartoonNetwork.com ones too. But Twilight Princess, I think I'm starting Code Lyoko Quest for Infinity this week. And I'm posting on my socials regularly and talking about things, going to movie screenings. So check me out. You might see something that you like that I'm about.
Awesome, guys. Go like, subscribe to TafariTv on YouTube. Go like and subscribe to Blerds Eyeview on YouTube. Go check out Blerd Station, especially if you want to see more Blerd stuff get made. And that's all I got. I appreciate you, my guy.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on, man. Let me know when everybody comes back. I'll happily come through again.
Yes, sir. The invitation is always open. All right, nerds. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Catch y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.